Hello dears, welcome to English classes at Radhika Dinesh. Have you ever thought about the history of radio, how it has been evolved or how it has been invented? Let's explore the history of radio in this video. As you are imagining, a lot of inventions and evolutions and developments have been happened during the course of the invention of radio. Let's point out some of the inventions which paved the way for the invention of the radio. In 1869, a scientist by name James Clerk Maxwell, you must have heard his name in the electromagnetic theory of light. You must have studied it in the 10th standard, I think. Anyway, he proposed the theories of electromagnetism. Then between 1886 and 1888, another scientist by name Heinrich Rudolf Hertz, he is also very relevant in this theory, that is light theory, as well as Hertz, that is wave theory. Then he published the results of experiments wherein he was able to transmit electromagnetic waves, that is radio waves. Heinrich Rudolf Hertz could transmit means could transfer electromagnetic waves from one place to the other without a medium, without any substance, without a wire. Okay, so this is also a very great development during the course of development of radio or invention of radio. Later, the Indian physicist, we know that a very relevant or a very remarkable Indian physicist had paved the way for the invention of radio, who is Jagadish Chandra Bose. He was a Bengali physicist or Bengali scientist who conducted a lot of experiments in wavelength or in electromagnetic waves with a wavelength of 60 hertz, that is around 5 millimeter short waves, and invented waveguides, horn antennas and semiconductor crystal detectors. All these are using in radio to transmit the waves. Uh, as far as Jagadish Chandra Bose's inventions and that is his inventions are considered, in 1895 he conducted a public demonstration at a town hall of Kolkata. Why he has conducted this? There he has showed a miracle in front of the gathering. What was that? By using the millimeter, that is 60 hertz wavelength waves, electromagnetic waves, he ignited gunpowder. Without a medium, he ignited, lighted gunpowder and rang a bell at a distance without a medium of wire or something solid. So this paved the way for the invention of radio. Some people are often saying that Jagadish Chandra Bose is the first person who has invented radio. Uh, but during that time, we were under British rule, so they gave the credit to a British citizen, that is Marconi. Anyway, it was a crucial experiment on the part of Jagadish Chandra Bose. Let's go through some of the inventions made by Marconi or some of the developments made by Marconi during his invention of radio. In 1895, he was able to transmit signals up to one and a half mile. Okay, it's a great distance, right? So he transmitted signals without any medium. Then he raised the height of his antenna in order to transmit the waves to a larger distance. That is, he transmitted signals up to 2 miles, or that is 3.2 kilometers over the hills. It was also a very great or it was also a remarkable landmark during the invention of radio. In 1897, what happened? Marconi established a radio station. That is, he could transmit signals up to 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers. Then he established a radio station on the Isle of Wight in England, and he opened his wireless factory in the former Silk Works at Hall Street, Chelmsford, England. There, he established the first radio station. In 1988, in which year? In 1988, he employed around 60 people there. This was the first ever radio station. Then Marconi began to build high-powered radio stations on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean to communicate with the ships at sea. Anyway, that is larger miles, that is the sound waves, how to move on, how to travel to a great distance without any medium. Medium means a solid medium. Air is there as the medium. In 1904, he established a commercial service to transmit nightly news summaries to subscribing ships, because we know that while even now ships are very much isolated, satellite communications are there, otherwise the ships are isolated. While we are traveling through ships, all the networks, mobile networks are disconnected due to the lack of signal, and the only way of communication is happening through satellites. Uh, During the time of Marconi, he helped the ships to communicate, or he passed news to ships by using this transmitting of electromagnetic waves. Um, it's also saying that the communication device of Marconi has credited with saving the 700 people in the Titanic disaster. We know that in the Atlantic Ocean, Titanic ship has been uh, sunk, and a lot of people lost their lives. Some other people, or around 700 people, were rescued out of this ship. His invention, Marconi's invention, helped a lot in the rescue process, because through this communication they could pass the message of the destruction or devastation that is caused to the ship. Let's see some of the developments in radio, or the golden age of American radio. We know that in the past, especially during the early 19s, what happened? Radio was the main source of information as well as entertainment. From 1932, and which is considered as the golden age of American radio, from 1930 to 1955, with the peak period being the 1940s. 1940s is the peak period of American golden age of radio. There, in 1927, what happened was the radio legislation passed the Radio Act. According to that, a license would be issued only if the public interest, convenience, or necessity was served. The radio station is licensed only if they provide programs according to the public interest. By the end of the 1920s, what happened? Radio was firmly established as an advertising medium. Through radio, a lot of advertisements have been passed. It's a part of information, right? Advertisement. In order to transmit this piece of information, a lot of advertisements have been transmitted or scheduled through radio. In 1927, a competing network called the United Independent Broadcasters was formed. That is, in 1927, United Independent Broadcasters, that is a radio company, was formed. Radio company means the broadcasting company was formed. During that time, telephone lines used as the transmitters of signals, radio signals. During the 1940s, uh, most of the best known radio shows came from Hollywood. Hollywood has showed very much interest in radio transmission or transmitting radio programs. So the best known radio programs were transmitted from Hollywood during 1940s. We know that some other thing has happened during 1940s because the Second World War was fighting during the 1940s. So people were very much interested in radio news and other things. So the popularity of radio has increased during that time. Uh, Many radio shows were there, like songs. Even now, people used to listen to songs via radio. Then FM radio while driving, we keep on playing FM radio, and it's very pleasing to listen to music from radio. Then music, drama is there. Radio drama is very effective because they are acting through their voice modulations are very important in radio drama. Comedy, some comedy skits, and also like a short dramas and plays, they are also transmitted or broadcasted through radio. All these are pieces of information and entertainment. Radio news is also very effective. Even now people used to listen to radio news. In the 1990s, 90%, above 80% people were depending upon the radio news for information. During the World Wars, radio was the only piece of information. That is, this is the main cause of increasing the popularity of radio. Now you all know that television has replaced radio. Even now radio has its own position in our day-to-day life. Especially in the past, people depended upon radio for information as well as entertainment. Hope you have understood the history of radio. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.